Hey everyone, this is your favorite history buff. We are traveling with history. Today, I want to go over, on a friend's request, the history of video games. Hopefully not too long, but I know there are a lot of gamers that watch YouTube, so I hope this is something they'll look forward to watching. I did want to cover from the beginning toward the present day, as you'll see. I won't cover every single detail, but maybe enough. Hopefully interesting enough. Shall we begin? You got timelines, or decades, from the 40s to the present. And of course, we'll see how this goes. Yes, the idea or the concept has been around for a long time. As for the 1940s, scientists, general public, they had the imagination of machines that think and play. Edward U. Condon designs a computer that plays NEM. People point their objective not to pick up the matchstick. Well, most of them fell at that. Mostly losable. 1947, Thomas T. Goldsmith Jr. and Ray Mann filed a patent for cathode ray tube amusement device. Yes. I know it doesn't sound like much, but back then, that was pretty impressive. Think you could shoot the target? For the 50s. Claude Shannon should make skylines for a chess-playing computer. I really hate those things. Could never beat a computer in chess. 52. A.S. Douglas creates OXO, say tic-tac-toe. 1954, Los Alamos Laboratories. Programmers developed a blackjack program. Coincidentally, the same place where the atomic bomb was made. Yes, New Mexico. William Higginbotham's 1958 test for two. It was demonstrated in New York. 2 years later, it was succeeded by Pong. I'm sure everyone knows what that is. But people were still limited in their understanding about the technology. Although over the years, or decades, it gets better. Computer programmer John Bergenson develops a computer baseball simulation, and he was homesick. 1960s. Steve Rosso creates Space War, a computer-based video game. 1962. Ralph Baer, sometimes considered the father of video games. He's the one that had the idea of playing a video game on television. He writes the idea down on the 1st of September. This brown box video game prototype, developed in 1967. And of course, 1968 patents his television game, as they call it. 4 years later, that being the 70s, Magnavox releases Odyssey, based on its design. So you can see where this is headed. Now for the 70s. I'm sure everyone recognizes Oregon Trail. Tough game. It was created by college students from Minnesota. And one of Odyssey's 28 games helped inspire Atari's version of the game Pong. But that led to some trouble. Magnavox and Sanders Associates sued Atari for the copyright. Eventually, they did settle. Atari settled and became an Odyssey licensee. Magnavox won over $100 million in 2 decades, or should I say 20 years. Atari release, the Atari 2600, 1977. And our very first handheld electronic game, predecessor to the Game Boy. It was created by toy maker Mattel Supplements in 1979. And of course, Activision, first third-party game developer, multiple game systems. As with third-party would intend, everyone should know. Ah, 1980s. Before researching this, I had no idea about how Pac-Man was inspired. Apparently, Missing Slice of Pizza inspired his creation by Toru Iwatani in 1980. Quite inspirational. And, of course, the game Donkey Kong introduced the world to Mario. He was originally known as Jumpman before he came to be known as Mario. So when you jump over the barrels and rescue Pauline, Mario's first girlfriend from Donkey Kong. Let's go. Disney created their own arcade game based on Tron in 1982. But video game crash happened in 1983, oversaturated game console market. There was some intense competition from computer gaming and a lot of terrible video games releasing. A lot of bankruptcies, or I should say several. But the video games recovered in 1985. 1984, Tetris was created by Alexei Pachantov, a Russian developer. But you got your popular games like Super Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda, Metroid. This came with the introduction of the regular Nintendo. Of course, Nintendo also made the Game Boy in 1989. And just remember, the Super Mario Brothers saved the video gaming world. Without that, you wouldn't have games. At least not like today. 1990s. This when Sega came into the light. Heavy competition. They introduced their mascot Sonic the Hedgehog in 1991. As he was a heavy rival to the Mario Brothers. He also recognized games like Street Fighter and controversial Mortal Kombat with the blood and violence. It became very popular. Not to mention 3D gaming comes 1995, Sega Saturn. Competed against the PlayStation, eventually Nintendo 64. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. Well, many of them like a strong female character, but critics don't like the sex appeal. Understandable either way. And you got your attempt at unsuccessful video game movies. Basically, the Mario Brothers movie, which is one of the worst movies I have ever seen in my life. Street Fighter 1 wasn't good either. It would take a while. But you got EverQuest, which was introduced by Sony as a very popular, massive multiplayer online role-playing game. Quest with friends, level up, explore dungeons, save the world, that usual stuff. EverQuest is a fantasy. Now for the 2000s. Sony did actually come back with the PlayStation 2, which dominated for a while. It's the first console to activate and play DVDs. But they still have some heavy competition for the Nintendo GameCube and the Xbox made by Microsoft. But the Sega Dreamcast, as impressive as it is, hints in the background. Ultimately lost the console wars, the last console Sega's ever made before they went for a third-party software company. Or using their games for Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony. I believe it was the first one you could play online. Well, they did their best. They got the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Nintendo Wii. I believe the Wii had the upper hand there, despite its lackluster technology compared to the others. It dominated motion control. I think Xbox tried out with the Kinect. It wasn't as effective. Here's some special facts for you. The US Army created a video game. They wanted to recruit a new generation of gamers. Don't forget about Rock Band for musician gamers. And World of Warcraft. I believe it was released in 2004, but in 2008 became the most popular MMORPG Over 10 million subscribers. Still going on today. Has social games like Angry Birds and Farmville. That's just games you can play on your phone, etc., etc. Now for the present day. We got Minecraft created by Marcus Pearson. I believe it was very popular for the indie games, 2010. Smartphones also became pretty big, and free-to-play games. And it became more popular in 2014 with the marketing business. Pokemon Go, very good. Heard weight loss stories on those. You go out in real life and capture Pokemon on your phone. As we're talking the global pandemic, we're talking COVID-19. People were contained, isolated, forced to stay inside, so they got video games. What else could you do when you're not allowed to go outside? Mostly. And don't forget, movies and shows. Show The Last of Us, Pedro Pascal, very popular. I got movies like Detective Pikachu and the Sonic the Hedgehog trilogy. Became very popular. Don't forget the animated Super Mario Brothers movie with Chris Pratt. Also very popular. I guess they're giving heavy competition to comic book movies. Well, anyways, that's all I got for now. Hope you all enjoyed this. Like, subscribe. If so, ding that bell if you want more. And if you have any advice, let me know. Want to comment? That's fine. Keep it peaceful. Otherwise, bye-bye now.